Good evening, travelers, interlopers, traders, and farmers, explorers, bounty hunters, pirates, and strange glowing entities, Viking, Korvax, and Gek alike. May the Atlas allow my voice to fall upon every strange ear, and that this space broadcast reaches every galaxy and dimension. Today, we are broadcasting from the Euclid Galaxy. Somewhere deep in space, this is a late night show with Cobra TV. Call in and let's make contact. The song we are listening to tonight is Sign of the Vibration from South London Hi-Fi. Let us begin our strange weekly transmission. Thank you guys for coming back to another live broadcast here on Cobra TV. This is the weekly Subcast where you get to call into the show, and it's like a radio show for gamers. It's a radio show for, talking about No Man's Sky. It's a galactic podcast. Imagine listening to this show in the cockpit of your ship flying to some strange world that you've never been to before. And when I mean strange, I mean strange. Tonight, we're going to be talking about a few topics. The community is on fire right now, and this is no surprise. Let me look at the, let's see. Jared said he was doing dishes. Somebody asked me about being an affiliate on Twitch. Yes, I'm now eligible to be an affiliate on Twitch, and I'm going to take care of that as soon as possible. And I do thank someone asking me about that. That means a lot to me. Panda's in the chat. We've got David Leones in the chat. Infinite Lightning is there as well. Law of Evolution. What is going on, dude? Law of Evolution's in the chat. And we've got Random Guy. What is up, Random Guy? How you doing, buddy? So the community's a mess, is it not? Okay, well, first let me state that this is going to be a very short subcast. Okay, but I am going to make it up to you, and we're going to do one on Thursday. And the reason why is because my job is ball and chaining me to that place, and I can't get away from it. And I am so close to committing financial suicide and just leaving. Just every day when I get ready for work, I get up to get out of this chair or out of a different chair, and I'm like, I just want to sit. I just want to sit. I am so tired of constantly moving, constantly working every day with no break, no day off, working so long that sometimes it's beneficial to sleep in the car because you don't have enough time to go home to sleep and get a shower before you have to come back. But I have to go into work tonight, so I'm not going to waste any more time on talking about this. So the subcast is going to be very, very short. I'd say I have to get off of here maybe 10 o'clock so I can rush out. Yes, the community is on fire. I do want to talk about that here for a second. The community is definitely on fire. And I'm not talking about say hello. I just that it to me is just I am dumbfounded by both sides of this. There's no middle ground anymore. I don't understand how people just can't get along in this community. And I'm not just talking about say hello. I'm not talking about say thank you. I'm not talking about say anything else, any other hashtag that's out there. But I'm talking about just in general. I see things on Twitter where people are fighting over emoticons. You hear me? People are fighting over using the wrong not emoticons, emojis. I don't know why I said emoticons. People are fighting over using the wrong emojis. Use the plus emoji. You're supposed to use a smiley. And it turns into this long, drawn-out, massive argument that started with an emoji. And that's just one example, guys. It's one example. I have to work really hard to find people getting along together on the internet and within our community. And it shouldn't surprise me. Yes, Inez gave her speech today. I cannot wait to see it. I don't know if it's available anywhere online yet. If anybody does have a video available to that, tweet it at me and I will spread it around. I imagine it's mostly a tech talk. But I'm hoping that there's certain things we can pull out of there. It was a blush emoji. I don't understand why the argument even happened. And somehow, since I liked the original poster's tweet. It was about a abandoned building message where it said "Hello World." And it was really cool because it was during the positive times of Say Hello, and someone had I can't remember. I'm not going to name names at all. I don't want anybody, I don't want any backlash happening. But it was a really cool tweet, and it said, "Hey, did anybody ever see this? Look, the abandoned building is saying hello, hello world." It was cool. It was really cool, and. Somebody else, there was another content creator, left a blush face instead of a smiley face, saying, well, that's cool or something like that. And then it just started and wow. No, I'm telling you. So Cobra, what's up? New Titan news. New Titan news. Now the GDC is over. Now that, okay, there were certain things that weren't said to me because of NDA. And there were certain things that were said to me that NDA wasn't talked about. So, not only is Inez at the GDC, so is Allison Smith, or representative of Allison Smith, main puppet master. I don't know why. I don't think he's going to speak, but he's there. Could be there to talk to developers to get sales for future ARGs, to run ARGs for other developers' games. That's what I think. But now that GDC is pretty much over, Inez is going to fly back. Maybe Inez is going to party for a little bit. We all know how much of a party animal that man is. We all know. Quite active on Twitter. Not afraid to argue. And definitely a party animal. So I imagine he is going to party a little bit, then go home. Where's this conversation going? Emojis. Now, everybody's fighting with everybody. Even people that shouldn't even be sticking their nose back into the No Man's Sky community are starting trouble and just stirring the pot. I don't even want to say starting trouble, just stirring the pot. It's like, oh, look, there's a fire over there. Let me get some wood. I think we need some wood for that fire. Now, I haven't chopped down wood for a while, but I'm going to chop it down now, and I'm going to throw it on this fire, and then I'm going to dump some gasoline on it. It's crazy. But the thing that we can learn here is history repeats itself, whether we're in a simulation or not. History repeats itself. We've been here before. We've been at each other's necks before. And I think it's been so long since we've actually been in this area that we've forgotten how to deal with it, and we've forgotten that we've gotten through it. And we've forgotten, this back when No Man's Sky was getting delayed, they weren't talking, and people were like, this game's never going to come out. This game's dead. This game's going to be stupid anyway, so it's not going to come out. And people are like, release date, soon, June, OON. And then other people are like, why are you asking for a release date? Let them work. And other people are like, well, they need to release their game. And arguing. Everybody just turning on each other. It's like a riot. It's like a riot. And we've been here before, haven't we? Does anybody remember any of that? Oh, we're going to. I'm leading up to a point, Aaron. I'm leading up to a point. I'm not complaining. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring something in light that history repeats itself, and that we've been here, and that we can move on, and that there's a light at the end of the tunnel, just like there was back then. So, no, I'm not going to move to the next topic. Not yet. I'm going to play a clip from you from a video where we were a little while back. And let me see if I can get it on here. Now, it's really strange how the context of this video was about the release date, but literally the advice and the situation and predicament that we're in still works today. And to me, this was one of the ways we worked through it. Not because of my video, but because of the things that we did with each other instead of fighting with each other. So I'm going to go ahead and play the clip right now. It's hard to ignore a lot of the comments where people are saying, that's it, I'm done, I'm jumping off. See you later, I'm tired of waiting for this game. Those comments are everywhere. And I'm guilty of wanting a release date within the past, ever since E3 2015. I have been guilty of wanting a release date, and I know a lot of us have. And sometimes it's really when we hear about No Man's Sky, are they going to appear here, or they're going to appear there, all we're thinking is release date. And it's poison. It really is. That's how I'm seeing it. It's poison. I think that a lot of us, what really brought us here is the game itself, what it means, and how exciting it's going to be to play. It's not like Hello Games is a company who announced something and then never, ever shows it, or they never, ever talk about it. What we do know is that Hello Games is working on the game. Hello Games does give us updates on No Man's Sky. They do show new footage of No Man's Sky. They are very humble and passionate developer team, and I respect them more than any developer team that I've ever seen. And I think that, I don't know, we've lost sight on what this game is. This game has turned into a release date here lately instead of being what it actually is. I think a lot of us have forgot what it's, you know, when we're watching the trailers, what it's going to be like or feel like when we're on a planet and we're just roaming around. You could go anywhere you want. You can leave the planet and go to another one, land on a moon. That's the feeling that I think that we've been disconnected from. We're just so focused on the release date. And let me put my disclaimer out there. I don't blame people for wanting a release date. Not by any means. But I think that we've let it go too far. And Hello Games, Sean Murray, they're working their butts off. Imagine if you were Sean Murray and you built this big community around your game. And then all of a sudden, half of that, or a portion of that community, is around your neck. You know, wanting a release date. How stressful it is when Sean Murray is trying to, you know, and Hello Games is trying to make the best, most perfect game that they can possibly make, and how much respect we should give them for not wanting to release a broken game and just fix it later. And that, I see KF in the chat, or K5 in the chat, saying depressing AF. No, you're missing the point. You're missing the point that I'm trying to bring up. And that's the kind of, you know, the comments and stuff that I'm talking about. Instead of fighting and being cruel and saying, hey, there's other games out there. You know, this is a No Man's Sky fan base channel. Yeah, there's other games out there. Yes, you're right. This is from 3 years ago. Same situation. Release date, switch it with the word update. And you just re-upload it. Maybe I'll just re-edit the video and just every time I say release date, I'll say update. But what I'm saying is we need to get together and belong in a community that gets along together. Stop arguing. I mean, about emojis. Let's you know, tweet out something positive. I'll retweet it right now. I got my phone open right now. Tweet out something positive. Reach out. Say hello to your neighbor. Say hello to your fellow community members. I'll retweet it out. Say whatever you want to say. Seriously, yes, this is a No Man's Sky fan channel. Last time I checked. All right, we're going to go ahead and start taking callers. If you disagree with me, come on the call. If you disagree with me that we should start getting along with each other, if you disagree with me that this is a No Man's Sky fan channel, come on. Adam, what's going on, buddy?
Not much, not much. What's going on?
Nothing, bud, nothing. Just I don't know. You know, people think I'm just trying to talk about something negative. I'm asking people. No, I didn't say you weren't a fan, K5. You said there were other games out there. Meanwhile, in other news. So I'm just, people think I'm trying to bring something negative into light. I'm not. I'm trying to wake people up, and I'm trying to get people to get along with each other. Stop fighting over emojis right now. Just, if you're in the middle of a thread and now you're fighting about how somebody looks, you know, because it started out with emoji, but now we're talking about something completely different. Stop. Just stop. It's not even that important. I think a lot of people are upset because they haven't got an update. But just like I said in that video I just played, you know, back then I said the game to us at that time had turned into a release date, and we forgot what the game was going to be about and the excitement and what brought us all together. And now I look at the community and everybody's fighting with each other, and the update or the game has turned into an update, and that's it.
Yeah, I've seen some fighting too, but honestly, I've just ignored it. I mean, I have only seen the good things that have come out of the Say Hello hashtag, and it's, in my opinion, it's brought people together. It's brought people back into No Man's Sky. If you look at the view count, we have over 100 people watching. These streams get maybe 40, 50 usually. So we tripled the view count. People are coming back in. People are excited, and I think it is a good thing, honestly. Since Jared started the Say Hello hashtag, and Jared's in the chat, by the way, Cobra, he wanted to join. But since it started, I have been playing No Man's Sky more. Now, I can't speak for everybody, but I've been playing more. I have been making new friends. I have been meeting new people on Twitter. I've been following new people. I've been finding great new content creators that I had no idea existed before, all because of a simple hashtag to say hello to each other, to say hello to No Man's Sky, to say hello to the community, to say hello to Hello Games. And I cannot see the negative in that. So some people on like Reddit and stuff, they'll try to spin it, but we're talking about like a handful of people. I think the majority of everybody thinks that in some way it's had a positive impact. And to me, I am only looking at the negative. I just ignored I can only see the positive. I'm just ignoring the negative. But yeah, for me, it's about saying hello to the community, coming together as one, and just enjoying a game that Hello Games has created. So that's what it means for me. And it's not about the new update. It's not about getting information from Hello Games. It's just saying, hey, guys, we appreciate the game. We know you've been gone for a while. Come back and join the party when you're ready. That's what it means. It's an invitation.
Right. Yeah, I'm curious. And, you know, I don't really want to chat about Say Hello anymore. I'm done with, you know, getting into that drama. You know, if the room's too hot, man, I'm getting out.
Yeah,
you know, it's too hot. It's creating too much drama. And, you know, if you're married like me, you learn to deal with things a certain way. I'm going to say that I would like to hear Hello Games say hello. I would. And I would like them to hear me say hello as well. I just want to see people get along.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's it.
That's all. The thing it has showed me, though, is if you look at it, like, it started off as a great thing, and I still think it's a great thing, the campaign. But you think how, you know, Sean Murray and the Hello Games team must have felt when they were making No Man's Sky. You know, they're making this great thing, they're really excited about it, and then people started to twist it and say, oh, it's not what you guys promised. And we kind of get a sense on how they felt, you know what I mean? Where this good thing has kind of started to slowly been twisted, but now it's slowly starting to pick back up the right way. So I can see what, you know, Sean Murray and Hello Games have gone through just through this hashtag, and I can see how they felt, and it kind of shines a different light on the subject. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think it's opened a lot of people's eyes, and it started a good conversation.
Okay, yeah, you're right. So I think everybody, calm down. Just calm down. Don't go on other people's No Man's Sky streams and tell them in other news there's other games out there. That's just disrespectful. Don't do that. I mean, that's why.
Is Jared in the room? No, that's just me and you. Yeah, Jared was in the chat, though. He wanted to pop in and say hello. Wink, wink. Jared, send Cobra a message on chat, on Skype, if you're listening. Yeah, I mean, playing other games isn't a bad thing. I play other games all the time, but I see what you mean. There he is.
Jared, what is going on, buddy? How you doing, man?
I'm all right.
So, I talked about how everybody is, you know, kind of in an uproar. So I don't want to really go back onto that anymore. I want to kind of talk about what are some of the things that we can do to bring positivity back into the community, and without considering Say Hello, you know, something different. You know, I asked people to tweet something positive, and what's amazing, they haven't gotten any tweets yet to retweet.
To be completely honest, at least for me, I think anything I do to try to quote unquote make this better, even though that's not really what it would be, people are going to twist it into, oh, now you see that you've done wrong, and now you're trying to redeem yourself or whatever it would happen. That's exactly what would happen, especially if I were to tweet something out like that. I am no longer tweeting the hashtag. I know you don't want to talk about it, but I'm not tweeting it anymore. If they were going to see it, they would have seen it by now. It's only like I put in the chat. It's just a hate magnet at this point. Once the negativity came, there was no going back. I know the intent was not what everybody is spouting out. I felt so bad last night that for the first time ever, I emailed Hello Games directly apologizing. So if they have seen it, they've seen it by now. So there's no point in
Right. Thank you, Tony T, for so much for the donation. So I've said my piece. I want people to be more positive. Right. K5, no, you're not a punching bag. I commented on a disrespectful comment. That's all. That's it. We're still bros, man. And that's all it is. We are going to get an update. Okay. I want to know. I want you to call into the show, and I want you to tell me what you want in this update. What's a feature that you would like to see? And I'll go over the features of the update that I want to see in this game. So call into the show, put in the chat room here what you want to see in the update, and let's start dreaming again instead of fighting. Let's start dreaming and let's start wondering and start speculating. Yeah. I think that's what's fun. I mean, before the game came out, that's what we did, and we had so much fun doing such a thing. It was so I don't know. It was one of the most amazing times I've ever had, waiting for anything, period. And I think this could be the same way. We're not looking at it like that. Imagine how much time has passed since we've had an update. Imagine all the new developers from Lionhead in there. Imagine what they're possibly doing. And this is going to be a massive update, and I'm not afraid to say that anymore at all. I mean, I'm not on the fence about that. So, I want to see what you guys want to the new updates. Let's bring, let's just get positive about something. Hello, Deadly Trip. How you doing, buddy?
Have we ever had an update that we weren't surprised for, that we didn't enjoy?
No.
Because for me, I mean, every update has been
update's been fantastic.
Has been great. Yeah.
Dude,
so I don't see I mean, this one's not going to be any different.
I'll tell you a story about the last update we got. And Cobra, I want to thank you for kind of bringing the conversation back to just the game instead of everything else, because everybody who I talk to just wants to talk about the hashtag and all that. So it's very
yeah. Jared, what do you want though? What do
I want? Let me tell you a story about the surprise of the update. I was driving home from work when they released the patch notes for Atlas Rises. And I had read it on my phone because I was so excited. I got off work, read it on my phone. I was driving home. I was shouting at the top of my lungs. I was like, "Hello Games, how did you do something like this? That's so surprising," because we never expected the multiplayer. We knew portals and things would happen. We never expected the multiplayer in the last update. We even talked about it. We're like, no, I don't expect multiplayer to be a thing, because if it was, they would tell us, because that would get more people, excited about the game and whatnot. So much stuff. I was shouting at the top of my lungs driving home, praising them in my car to myself. Their updates are so exciting. What do I want in the update? And I think there's going to be tons. This update's going to be ginormous. You have to just look at the time between updates. The last update was fantastic, and there was less time between that. They are for sure going to be expanding on the multiplayer. I mean, we know that. But what do I want? I want, and I've said it multiple times, just things to encourage exploration, because that was kind of the thing that sold me, was exploration. And that something to encourage more exploration could be a wide range of things. Just adding more variation to whether it's flora, fauna, whatever it may be, that would encourage exploration for a lot of people. Well, definitely me, because that's what I love to do, is just look at stuff and take pictures. I would also something else, another idea that I had, that you never know could end up in the game at some point, is to add procedurally generated collectibles. I don't know if that's possible. I don't know how that would work, but and I think we talked about it on a Subcast a long time ago. where if you're like flying in your ship, you get like a ping in your on your HUD or whatever, saying that there's a relic or an artifact nearby, and then it's kind of like a hot cold game where it pings faster the closer you get, and then you go to the planet and you end up going down this winding cave, and then you find like some cool looking alien relic or this old, Corvex technology, and you can pick it up and there's a piece of lore attached to it, and you can put it in your base, and then you have that, and it's procedurally generated. It looks different than what other people find. Just something so small like that I think will encourage a lot of people to just look around. And I'm sure you remember Cobra, Rashawn back in the day, before the game came out, said one of his favorite things in the game was finding caves, because you could go down those caves and you never know what's at the end. I want to know what he was talking about, because right now you can go down the cave and you know what's at the end. Nothing. There's nothing down there. It's just a cave. So I think maybe at a time they had an idea to put something in those caves for people to find. So definitely that is a cool idea. Probably, I think, my favorite idea, right alongside with being able to hang your pictures that you take in your base. So like if you take a picture of a cool sunset or something, be able to hang that in your base. And then just more things. A purpose for underwater is another thing. Just something underwater.
I agree.
Like submarines or crazy underwater craft.
Yeah.
You know what's really crazy about the oceans in No Man's Sky, the waters in No Man's Sky, is it's almost like reality. They are the least explored place on Earth. Mm-hmm. So, and it's the same way in No Man's Sky. The oceans are the least explored place in the game. Yeah. Unless you're in creative. I mean, I've gone to creative before and just went down to the oceans and just cruised around.
I just did that with my time lapse I just put up. It's so cool because I love how the music totally changes when you're underwater. And it's this whole other vibe, and you've got like that really ambient, like mysterious music going on. And it's amazing because I just wish, right, that huge creatures lurked under there, like giant creatures. How there'd be so many more people exploring underwater. And I mean, honestly, that would scare the heck out of me if there was huge creatures under there. But I think it'd be exciting. It'd make going underwater exciting. And of course, you'd have to have some kind of ability to move faster underwater if that was the case, because you just move so slow under there. Once you get 5 minutes away from land, you're like, ugh.
Yeah,
gotta
exactly.
Go back.
We have Hidden Panda just joining the show. How you doing, Hidden Panda?
Pretty good. What's cracking, guys?
No, nothing much, man. Just having fun chilling out on the No Man's Sky Subcast.
Heck yeah, dude. I'm sitting on the couch drinking a gin and tonic playing No Man's Sky right now.
There you go. What are you doing right now in the game?
I'm on the hunt for a squid exotic. So I'm part of this, like, basically it's like this group where we kind of like catalog like different farms and stuff in No Man's Sky and make a lot of money so that players, especially new players that are joining the game, can quickly get in, follow the TOG glyph path, get the glyphs, go to these farms, get the money so that they can buy freighters. So everybody's kind of working on getting like freighters and like their exotic spaceships and all that kind of stuff. Because I've noticed that with every update, things are getting significantly more expensive. And I think that those items that are super expensive are going to become important later in an update. So I've been encouraging everybody to kind of get those things. So that's kind of what I'm doing right now, is just trying to stock up on some really cool gear.
That's a good idea. It really is a good idea. I tell you what I want out of the update. I want, and I know I've said this before, and I want a better co-op experience. I want things to go along with that. I want mini games. I want, raids like Destiny. We mentioned that the last time we were on a live show. I want
hubs.
I want a campaign maker. Hubs. You know, I want an official functional way to make a hub, so that way I can go claim a region and name it, and then come to people and say on the internet and say, hey, you guys want to come by the Cobra TV hub, Cobra Station, Cobra Star? I don't know.
Right.
Who knows what I would name it? But that hub would actually have functionality for co-op. We would have sharing, trading, matchmaking, maybe Sentinel invasions. We'd have to fight Sentinels. Maybe, I don't know. There could be so much you could do by making an official hub for that. And the campaign maker, too. I want to see a campaign maker, but I doubt that that was on their mind, even though they probably thought about it. I don't know. I never thought about it until I had a comment on my YouTube channel, but that's there too. I'm super Panda. Did you get a chance to see Inez speak yet?
Are you talking about like at this GDC or the last one?
This one.
So I didn't get a chance to see her speak, but Dave Langer, big shout out to the young homie Dave Langer, but he posted in your chat a link to somebody who was live tweeting from GDC. So I took a bunch of screenshots and kind of read through them all while I was watching the subcast. And basically all she really talked about, or sorry, all he really talked about was the procedural gen system, that when you change something, that it changes a lot of things. So a small change becomes a big problem. And he was talking about how that every time that they do a massive update, that the terrain and everything gets regenerated and players might lose their bases and things might change a lot. And they're essentially resetting the universe for players. And so it's kind of been a big problem for them is when they do these updates that, you know, every game that comes out, there should be a, you know, the developer should have a system of progression in mind for the game. But when a game is completely built on procedural gen, that becomes difficult because if you change a tree, it could change outcomes entirely on that planet, and so on and so on. So a lot of the conversation was centered around updates and how they affect the game overall, and the universe being reset and players losing assets in the game.
Right.
Which I think is both clue into some of the challenges that they're encountering now with maybe some of the updates that they're doing to the game currently, as well as obviously some of the issues that we had with the updates previously and with Atlas Rises, when people's bases would end up in the air or underground or something like that.
Right. Yeah, I saw a message from Ibram, I think it's his name, saying that us YouTubers are being way too noise. You know, we're wanting way too much and expecting too much, and we're going to be disappointed. For one, the things that I mentioned, I'm not expecting at all. Right. I want them, but I don't think I've ever said this is what I think is going to be in the update. This is what I want out of, you know, certain updates. I may never get them. And the last time we were dreaming what could be possibly in the Atlas Rises update, I tell you what, we didn't speculate enough because we got more than what we speculated on. It exceeded our expectations for what we actually got with Atlas Rises. So I really think that this time it's going to be the same way. I mean, this is one of the first updates that we've ever had that we really don't have a good guess other than multiplayer or co-op of what's going to be in this update. Also,
I think a lot of people underestimate how important the community speculating about the game actually is, because Sean Murray and Hello Games have stated that they listen to the feedback, they're viewing the community. And I think that a lot of the content creators and moderators and community leaders out there that talk about things they'd like to see or speculate on what they think might come in the game, I think that a lot of those ideas get talked about at Hello Games, and they try to implement a lot of the things that people want in the game. So I think that the speculation is healthy, you know, like us talking about things we'd like to see, as long as they don't become expectations, like you said.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Don't expect these things, but it's fun to shake the present and wonder what's inside, you know, at Christmas time. You know, it's like it's the same thing. You know, it's fun to talk about it because, like you said, if they ever do listen, which they said that they did as much. Okay, they said that we've been listening intently. Okay, so they're definitely listening to us. We are the feedback, so it's fun to talk about it, bring out possibilities out into the open, and maybe one day they'll put them in there. I highly doubt. I know multiplayer and co-op is going to be part of this update, but you know, when you think about, it's not going to be bug fixes, so it's definitely going to be something to be excited about, regardless.
Now,
we got. Hold on. I think he might be in a hurry. Let me go ahead and introduce Red Eye Moses. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, what's up, Cobra?
Hey, nothing much, man. Were you in a hurry?
Yeah. Well, no, I just I can talk now. I just can't watch and talk.
Oh, I get it. Okay.
Yeah. I had to quit watching, but yeah, I can talk now. Yeah.
Okay. How you doing, man? What brings you on tonight, dude?
Oh no, man. I was just wanting to put in my 2 cents worth about expectations. As far as I'd like to see. I'm with y'all. Man, hubs. I think hubs are where it's at, man, because that bring it brings us, the players, together. And I can see some problems with maybe. Have you ever heard of the online game Eve?
Mm-hmm.
I've never played it.
Eve.
I've heard of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want it to be, where you've got hubs, warring against other hubs for digital space and
Right.
whatever. I don't want that the way they do in Eve. But at the same time, I think the heart and soul of No Man's Sky and of any game, you can fill in the blank, of any game is and are the people and players, the communities of people that play those games. And the game we're talking about, No Man's Sky, is no different. The heart and soul of this game is the people that are playing it. And I think, hubs, I think that would be, a little bit a model, as you said earlier, for hub generation, be able to, name your own hub. I think that's one of the things I would really like to see. And my only other thing to add on expectations would be procedurally generated droids.
Procedurally generated what?
Droids.
Droids.
Like
Oh,
Sentinels?
yeah. Oh, 100% agree. Yeah. I don't even know when that's. Somebody dropped something. And Dave Langer, I see you trying to tweet a link or something like that, or put a link inside the chat. If you tweet me the link that you're trying to tweet, I will retweet it. And if anybody wants to see it, they can go to my Twitter account and check out whatever that is. So Dave Langer, what it is, just tweet it at me on Twitter and I'll retweet it. We have Bacon Pancakes. What's going on, dude?
Hey, Cobra. How's it going, man?
Oh, it's going great, man. It's a pleasure to have you on the show tonight, dude.
Yeah, thanks for letting me in. Just guess I wanted to say a few things for what I expect, and I think everyone here has pretty much touched over the basics, that what majority of the community wants. But one of the things there's two things I really want, and I've been playing this game since day one when it came out. I've loved it. The community's freaking awesome, and yeah, the hubs, like you said, really kept me in the game. But the few things I would love to do, I want destructible freighters. Like, if you want to be a pirate, instead of like destroying the turrets and things, I actually want the big freighters. Like, you able to destroy them. Just gives a little bit more exciting. Gives a little bit more depth into the space combat, I think.
Yeah.
So I would definitely love something like that.
That's another good point. Yeah, I think the game needs a lot more space combat. You know what I mean? Not just a random encounter of a pirate trying to get you. Not just a random, hey, you got to help out these this freighter that's being attacked, but more danger. I think that's a good thing. When I say raids with Destiny, I'm usually thinking about raids against the Sentinels or a Sentinel home planet or a Sentinel factory or something like that. But then we could also do raids in space. Maybe raids in
definitely higher
space.
stakes.
That would be
Yeah.
exactly.
Maybe they start. Maybe they start out in space and then they end on a planet on foot.
That like one of the missions could be there's a capital ship that you might have to even call in either support. You can do it with your buddies, and that's another thing to add to the co-op thing. There's a freighter you have to go raid or destroy for a certain faction or something. So to me that'd be awesome.
I think a big thing with space combat is reward. So like you can delve into space combat now. It's not super rewarding, but I think another reward is the danger and is the challenge. So if space combat was more dangerous and you could do it co-op for sure, I would 100% be into that a lot more than I am right now. being able to just fly around with friends and together try to take something down or to take a big group of enemies down, I think would be a pretty sweet thing to do for sure.
So I got a question for everybody. Now this, you might already be able to do this, but can you like bury your containers like underground? Can you bury them?
You could kind of bury them, but not. I don't think. I mean, unless it's
like
a glitch,
fully, like put stuff in it and then like fully bury it, like
you
under
can
the ground
cover it with the terrain manipulator.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Right? Yeah.
Because I think if they, I don't know if this, because we can't like trade items with other players currently, correct?
Yeah, no, you can't.
No.
Okay, because I think if they let you trade things, and then you could like just make your own missions by like burying containers. Like for example, you get a bunch of cool stuff, put it in a container. And if they free up the places where you can put things down, like instead of just on your base, just put it anywhere in the world, you could like bury these containers throughout the world and then maybe have like a metal detector attachment for your multi-tool. So you could just be on some random planet and you have like this little bleep on your radar and you just kind of have to follow it and you find these containers that people have put, maybe they leave like a note or something inside and you could build a quest off of that. You know what I mean?
Dude, that's awesome.
I think that would be pretty crazy.
The thing I was talking about, the collectibles and the relics, it'd be like a metal detector.
So we make
feature.
our own collectibles where it's just a little bleep on your radar.
Yeah,
and you're like, something's around here. Somebody's buried something. How cool would that be? You're just going through a cave and you're like going through these tunnels and then something might be at the end of the cave because somebody's put something there. I think that'd be pretty crazy.
That'd be nice. What if you could create your own relics? Like make your own and then plant them somewhere. I mean, and then it comes to the point where, you know, the game is huge, and when are you ever going to come across something that somebody else has done? Unless there are hubs and there are regions where you know people are at. I think the hub, if they introduce hubs, and you know, if the game goes like, you know, full, try to get the multiplayer co-op thing to work, that's 100%. Hubs will be 100% the future, I think, of the game. You know, it's almost putting all of the entire No Man's Sky community physically together in the game where we haven't been before. You know, all of it's been just talk outside of the game, you know, sharing experiences with each other because we can't experience it together. Now we won't have to do that. Everybody will be together, and there'll be different hubs, different regions, and communication will be fantastic. You'll actually be able to talk about the game while you're in the game rather as it being completely separate. I think hubs and the co-op and like creating cities, if you want to call it that, will be the future of the game if they end up going that route, which I hope they do.
Right. We have a new caller on the show. How you doing, bud? Thank you for calling into Cobra TV.
Yo, what's up? How's it going? I go by the handle Microcosmologist. You read a tweet of mine, or I guess a Reddit comment of mine during the ARG.
Okay. I think I remember.
And hey, man, give me just 1 minute. I got a few things to say here. So I've been part of the community since the very beginning, and I'm a passionate fan of No Man's Sky. This is the first time I've ever called in the Subcast, though, before.
Okay.
And I just want to say, Cobra, that you're the man, and I really love all of your videos, even though this is the first time I've ever called in. Your stuff is awesome, and hearing your silky smooth baritone voice intone the words of my Reddit comment was just hilarious and awesome.
That's awesome.
Because you've got a great voice. You know, you're suited to this format.
Now you're making me blush.
But
Maybe
I guess
I'm giving
what
the
I
wrong
want to say
emoji
right
on my
now,
face.
What I want to say right now is that you can never really separate No Man's Sky from the controversy. Controversy has always been part and parcel, part of the game, really, from the very early stages. And I think that in a moment, when people are co-opting this hashtag that people tried to create to do something positive, you got to just step back and appreciate what we've got. I mean, right now, we have this incredible game that you can explore the far reaches of the cosmos, and this was something that didn't exist until just recently. And I think for a lot of people, especially older gamers, people in my age bracket, I'll be 40 in a couple years. This is something we grew up dreaming about, and that was completely a pipe dream until so recently. And now that it's here already, people just want to take it for granted. And why can't you do this? Why can't you do that? Why don't we have these giant buildings that were in the trailer? Nitpick. And to me, I'm just still on the fact that I can jump in a spaceship and go into space and go to another planet and and land, and it's like, dude, this is it. We've got it, man.
Yeah. And you know what's cool about No Man's Sky is, you know, we all reach a point where we get a little bit bored, you know, or we're like, oh, what am I going to do now? I just spent all that time getting this upgraded. And if you put the game down for especially a week or 2 weeks, and then you turn it on, I don't know what it is, but you get this feeling of, why in the world did I stop playing? You know, it's just it's the strangest thing. And I've never had that with any game, really, ever. Well, I have, but it's not been consistent. You know what I mean? Like, I could play, like, I played GTA 4 online for like 6 years straight with only putting it down for maybe like one week, and then the outage when Sony was hacked. Other than that, you know, but that's a game that I kept coming back to. But eventually, for me, after 6 years, it ran its course. And but you know, that's not a good example. I was highly addicted to that game. But I've had games where, you know, I've gotten bored, came back, wow, gotten bored, came back, like, you know. But No Man's Sky is just like, I don't know what it is about that game that just, if you walk away from it for a little while and then you come back, there's just this renewed wonderment that I cannot explain.
Dude, like you said, man, you can't
it's
separate.
got something magical.
Mm-hmm. It's completely different from
separate No Man's Sky from the controversy. All great things have been controversial. Emancipation Proclamation, I Have a Dream speech, Gandhi, No Man's Sky. Am I right?
Oh, yeah, you're right.
I love that. That's great.
Like in that order. I mean, right? No, I'm joking, but no, seriously. That's part of what makes No Man's Sky great, is that they did on a PlayStation console what a lot of games can't do on PC. We have 18 quintillion planets to visit, thousands of variations of creatures, like all kinds of ships. We have a procedural mission board. No one can complain to me now about being bored in No Man's Sky or not finding things to do. There are things to do. You can grow things. You can build things. You can kill things. You can search things. You can fly around. You can, I mean, like the game, it gets better and better. Sean Murray said it himself. I'm going to be working on No Man's Sky for a long time. A lot of things are possible in No Man's Sky.
Right. I'll see you later, Colt. Thank you for coming out to the stream, and I will be uploading Elite Dangerous Saturday with a wingman, Myota. He's going to be teaching me how to play. So, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Continue.
That was pretty much it.
Oh, okay.
Short bursts.
Yeah, no. I 100% agree, man. The game has, you know, definitely. What do you do in No Man's Sky has been, that's been explained very well. And it's been. Go ahead.
No, one more thing. I kind of wanted to link something that you brought up ages ago and something that Jared just brought up about more reasons to explore, or kind of refining exploration in No Man's Sky. It's very difficult in No Man's Sky to, unless you're naming planets that you discover for the first time, it's very difficult without writing down on paper places to revisit if you're doing a lot of exploring, and especially with a lot of the different like hub systems and stuff, where a lot of the planets might have just been stop by planets while they warp to like another one, and they didn't really take the time to like name them and stuff, but they're like really great planets. I think that they should incorporate within your discoveries menu a way to take notes on a planet. So even if you can't like rename it, you can say like, this is a lush planet, like come back here, like add a star next to it as like a point of interest.
Sure. That'd be awesome.
Like they need that, you know,
like a favorites bar.
And that way, that would work a lot for like, if you record or want to record or do videos or make content on certain planets. Right now for me, if I find a planet I want to do a time lapse on, basically it's, let me sit here on this planet until I have time to make a time lapse, and then I just don't play the game because I wait until I have the time, then I'm there, so I don't lose the planet or I don't forget about it and what have you. It'd be great to be able to leave notes, remind myself to go back to things.
On the portal repository, there's an easy way to write down a portal address. It's using a numbers and letter system, and if I can figure out, trust me, you can. So go to the portal repository, portal. Oh my gosh, the portal repository, and .com. Yeah, the pottle. And check that out. It's an easy way. I got a book here filled with stuff. It's portal addresses for a new show called The Traveler. I'm getting ready to start. Yeah, I mean, that's an easy way to do it, but I think there should be like a favorites list inside the game. That'd be really cool. We got a new caller on this show. His name's Frost the Snowman. How you doing?
There you go, man. Yeah, not bad. Excuse the horrible audio quality if this happens to be bad, but I had to get this set up on my phone, so...
No, you sound good, man. You sound great. What brings you on tonight, dude?
Oh, dude, I've been watching you for many years, since before No Man's Sky was even released, and so another first-time caller, but just wanted to get involved in the conversation, basically.
Okay, great, man. It's a pleasure to have you on. I'm lucky to have you on the show tonight, and I appreciate you watching us for so long. And so what do you want to talk about in terms of positivity? I think is something we need to inject back in the community. I think we need to... it's okay to talk about the update and dream, but I see a lot of people with pitchforks with the update, and I don't. I'd rather go the other route. Let's dream. Let's speculate, but let's not expect. Let's not expect those dreams to be true.
I agree, man. I've seen all sorts of negativity spiral out of control, since before the game was released, and I don't understand it. I don't understand why people feel the need to just run it into the ground, but then as soon as the update comes out, they all come running back, and then they have to go through this waiting period, and then everybody goes away and the pitchforks come out, and then the update gets released, and everything quiets down again. And I've never really understood it. I have to admit I've been a little bit out of the loop regarding all of this stuff, the hashtag and whatnot, but from what I can see, it's just generated a lot of unnecessary, just a lot of unnecessary negativity towards it in the same way that it was, I think, prior to the most recent update. It just seems like people's expectations spiral out of control, and and then everything quiets down as soon as the update gets released. It's this ridiculous cycle that they can't seem to break out of, and I'm really not sure why. But as far as, what I think would be awesome to see in the next update, I'm pretty keen for some, I don't know how easy it would be to implement, but the whole procedurally generated cities thing. I know we've sort of toyed with that, or you guys have toyed with that in the past on the stream. But that's something that I think would be really quite cool if they could get something like that. And I'm pretty happy, honestly, with where the game's at the moment. I'm still sifting through all of the content from the previous update.
Dude, so Ogolos from the Amino Hub built a city.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And I shared it on Twitter.
Yeah.
And the lead artist for Hello Games liked it.
Yeah.
Maybe it doesn't mean anything. Maybe we're getting procedural cities. I don't really know.
It looks nice.
Those
I tell you what,
awesome.
They have the skill and the talent in the studio to do it. Why else would they have a developer there who now works for Hello Games, who touts on his Twitter account that he specializes in procedural city generation?
That's just it. It just seems like the perfect combination to me. And really with because I have noticed, I don't know, maybe it's just my imagination, but it seems like in the previous update, they have some of the settlements that I've come across do seem to have more buildings than they did before. I'm coming across a lot more that have, about 4 or 5, maybe even 6 buildings compared to where it used to just be like 1 or 2 decent sized buildings.
Yeah, for sure. I think that they've increased that. It's hard to tell now because I've played so much, but I think when, as far as every time there's an update, it seems that settlements get a little bit larger.
I tell you what, if you use an exocraft instead of flying around a planet, you come across more things because I think they actually have some kind of algorithm that lets an exocraft come across more things, or maybe it's just when you're in your ship, it just doesn't show because you're going too fast. But it's really cool cruising around an exocraft, and you get to see buildings way more often than you do when you're trying to fly around and scan question marks.
I watched a thing on how that works. Sure. And basically, when you're high above the ground at a certain altitude, the level of detail changes. and so do the amount of points of interest that you'll see. Whereas when you're in the exocraft or on foot, you see a much higher level of detail, and there's a more dense population of things that appear in the seed. So your relation to the surface of the planet is important with regard to how many things that you see, like in terms of points of interest. So
I think that's another reason why the larger Diplos that we've seen in the dinosaurs that we saw in the trailers, why we don't see them in the game today, because I think there was a problem with it generating as you were flying. I mean, because imagine if we see how things generate in the game now, what it would be like to see a large dinosaur when you open your ship. I think scale needs to be worked on in the game. I really do. I saw somebody comparing scale to the size of our avatar based on the size of our ship and our cockpit. You know, how big our avatar would be and how big we would be next to some of these trees. I think the camera is not scaled correctly to what our avatar would be. And I think if they fix that, I think it would bring a lot more scale to the game and maybe even make the animals a lot larger. You know, that's another thing.
When it comes to the next update, I really think that it's pretty obvious that, you know, from the very beginning with Big Things mod back in version 1.0 of the game, people have wanted bigger stuff. It's no secret. And, you know, playing the game on PC, the mod to me that I just can't seem to get away from and keep turning back on is Megaliths, which does just that. You know, it preserves most things, but there's every once in a while there's just huge, some one element will be giant. And that adds so much to the variety of when you fly down to a planet, you really don't know what's going to be there. And that, you know, addresses another point that has been a sore point with many people who play the game. But going off of something you said just a second ago, Cobra, man, I just got a new job and I moved across the country, and so I haven't played the game for 3-4 weeks now. I am really excited for how it's going to feel to step back into it when I finally get, you know, a computer and all that stuff set back up again.
It really is amazing. You know, just being away from it for so long and then coming back to it is just, I don't know. I can't explain it. And I can't wait to see. I mean, do you post your videos on YouTube?
I mean, I've only posted one gameplay video. I should post more, but I've just been, I don't know, busy with so much other stuff, I guess.
I see. Guys, we're only going to be on for about another 10 to 15 more minutes because I have to run and go to work. So if there's anything that you guys had on your mind that you wanted to get out and talk about, Jared, Adam, or anybody else that's on the call here that you wanted to talk about, like concerning an update or I don't know, just pretty much anything you want to talk about, I think now's the time.
Right. So I want to see them take away the boundaries of photo mode.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Please. I know there's a mod for it on PC. I love taking pictures so much in this game, to the point where like I can't live stream it. I like to live stream it, but I don't know if people like my live streams because I don't ever do anything besides walk 10 steps and then figure out what angle I want to take this picture of. I just like
you and me both.
Yeah, I just love the photo mode. I think eventually they'll maybe add more things, maybe different filters to photo mode. But I think just taking away that boundary. I know when you fly, if you take away the boundary on PC and you fly far away, obviously like the terrain and stuff like isn't generated and things like that. But be able to get like a really far shot on something without having to physically go there, I think would be really cool. So that's like a small thing that I think is not like super mechanic, like it's not like a whole new mechanic or anything, but something really small that I'd like to see maybe changed with an update.
Kind of along those lines, I'd like to be able to build a drone that would let you scout within a limited range, like say in survival mode, you know, when you're hiding out during a storm and you're in a cave or something, just waiting out like that super toxicity to go away so you can actually explore again. If you could build like a craftable drone and basically have it be like photo mode where you could just fly around and see what's around you, that would be super useful and kind of scratch that itch you're talking about.
Right.
That brings up something one of my subscribers brought up during my stream last night. They said it would be awesome if you could like hack a Sentinel, and then I took it a step further, and I want to have like consoles in my base, like a whole wall of TVs, right? And I want to be able to hack these Sentinels and just watch them go out and scan things. I think that would be amazing. You could just like switch perspective and you could just have a whole stream where you're just following a sentinel and just watching them scan different things across the planet. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? That would be amazing. You could just have them go out and just scan things for you, or you could just watch them.
It's a new way, new way to discover all the creatures. It's just hack sentinels and just wait. You don't have to go around doing it.
Cobra, you said I could give this a shout out, but after the stream is over, directly after, probably like 5-10 minutes after, I'm going to be streaming on my channel. It's going to be like a No Man's Sky community stream. Jared, I don't know if you'll be available, but if you want to hop on Discord after, you can kind of help me host it. But yeah, we're just going to be talking about No Man's Sky. We're going to be on Twitter, looking at screenshots people have taken, and it's just going to be a lot of fun. So that's happening after the show is over.
I'll probably eat some foods, and I might show up, depending.
Okay.
Panda don't get no invite?
You can pop in too, man. It's going to be mainly just me reading people's comments in the chat, because I know during the subcast, sometimes a lot of people in the comment section get ignored just because there's so many people and there's people on the call. So this is just going to be the chat, me reading the chat, because I am not very well versed in No Man's Sky. I'm pretty much the biggest noob. So the chat box is going to drive the show. So I think it's going to be fun to just have everybody that isn't heard on Subcast to have a voice. So that's the kind of idea by it.
I'm busy. I can't make it, dude. I'm sorry.
No worries.
No, I'm just messing around.
I'm talking to myself. I do it every night.
I'm just playing, dude.
Well, that's cool, man. It sounds like a really awesome idea, dude. And I wish I was home tonight so I could actually tune in, listen, and maybe even join you over there and talk to you. But
for sure, man.
Unfortunately,
it's gonna be fun.
And
Cobra, man, you missed the Dreamscast today.
I know. I was sleeping, trying to get ready for, get replenished to go back into work.
Yeah. Hey, what hours do you work? Is it
night shift? My night shift bleeds into day shift too. Like sometimes I'm not allowed to go home, and sucks.
Yeah, that's never good. Well, hopefully you'll be able to catch one of them eventually. I don't have a schedule. That's the issue. It's just kind of when I have time and when I'm awake and don't have to worry about work.
I watched about 3 minutes of it. Your No Man. I mean, not your what's it called? The stream you just did today, Jared. Yeah, the Dreamcast. Yeah, I was at work and I saw the notification. I clicked on it. I was like watching, and then my boss was like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Nothing." And I like put my phone away. I'm like, "Dang it!"
Yeah, you disappeared because I asked you a question. I think I was like, "Hey, if you want to play Astroneer, let me know because we haven't played in a while." And then you never responded. I was like, "All right."
Popped in and I was like, "Dang it, I gotta go back to work. Bring home the bacon."
Right.
So I can buy more video games that I never played.
How is Astroneer? Is that a good game?
Dude, it's so fun.
It's fun. I've been playing.
I honestly,
the developers, one of the lead developer of, he's been on the channel before.
Oh, really?
But something stopped me from buying a game. I think it was when my PC got messed up, and I never purchased it, never tried it. Now my PC works, I could probably get it to play. So is it good? Fun?
I honestly like it better than Deep Rock Galactic. I think it may be because of the visuals. I think it's just a freaking gorgeous game. And it's a very fun, it's just another co-op thing, right? You work together. It's a lot of collecting materials and crafting new things to collect more materials to craft new things. But it's eventually, like, we haven't even got to the point where, it's procedurally generated, but you can build like a spaceship and fly to a new planet. And that new planet has different weather and other different things to find and craft, and there's base building now. So we haven't even got to that point. We're still stuck on.
Yeah, we're still on the first planet. We just unlocked what do we unlock, Jared? The like the craft.
Vehicle.
Yeah, vehicle. We just unlocked the vehicle, but you have to like make seats for the vehicle, and then you have to like make batteries for the vehicle. So everything you have to like make from the ground up. So it's awesome, and there's like no enemies in the game, like, but the plants can kill you, the elements can kill you. There's like storms that go by and they'll blow over your like lifeline because you have to constantly stay connected to oxygen. So it's just kind of a cool little indie game.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Chill experience. It doesn't get too crazy, but definitely good.
Well, you guys are making me jealous. When do you play? Because I want to hook up with you guys.
We need to really set a time where you're not working.
Yeah, we gotta play some Deep Rock Galactic.
I think when we play, you're working. Because
I'd rather get into some into some Astroneer, and then go into Deep Rock.
Yeah, they're both fun.
Guys, I'm going to have to shut it down. I got to go. I'm 10 minutes late getting out of here. I do appreciate you guys coming out to the show tonight. We will do another show Thursday night to make up for, this one being so short. I want to thank everyone for coming out on YouTube, watching on YouTube, and K5 Cult. Thank you, man. I love you, dude. I really do. So, I mean, everybody on Twitch, everyone listening on Stitcher, and everyone who called in, I want to thank you guys so much for doing that. And it's been a pleasure tonight.
For sure, man. Been a lot of fun. After show's going down relatively soon after this ends, so look forward to seeing some of you guys pop in.
Awesome. Shout out to Bacon Pancakes, Best Name Award. I'll be streaming 10 minutes after the show.
You might see me in the chat.
Keep calm and game on is not invited. No, I'm just playing. Take it easy, guys.
Man, every time Bacon Pancakes is in the chat, instantly I get hungry. Instantly.
You're welcome.
Bacon now, man. I need some bacon.
Yeah.
Don't forget the pancakes and syrup, man. Come on.
Okay, guys, we're going to go ahead and shut it down. I promise you we will be back on Thursday night for a long show stretching in to the middle of the night. The later it gets, the stranger it's going to be. Beyond Good and Evil 2, we're going to start covering that. Work has gotten in the way of getting that uploaded, but I got most of the first episode written, and can't wait to produce that. And I guess that's it. Everyone stay safe. And I don't know. I'll see you Thursday.
Take it easy, man.
Yeah.
All right.
Catch you guys.
Bye,
later.
everybody.
Everyone.
See you, Cobra. See you, everybody.
Peace.
Go out and check out Keep Calm and Game On. He's going to have an awesome...
Yeah, about 5 minutes. Got to get it set up. I'm not very technically inclined, so we'll see. But it's going to be fun. See you later, Cobra. Have a good night, everybody.
Okay, buddy. All right. Bye, everyone. Have a good night.
Take it easy, man.